afternoon, everybody. How you doing? I'm doing okay. Just getting ready to do my face care for the day, night, evening, whatever you want to call it. Trying to get everything here. Too many serums, but they seem to be working because I look fabulous. So I just wanted to kind of shoot the shit for a little while I'm doing it. In today's society, people are under the impression that if you disagree with them, then you're automatically their enemy. And they have to talk smack about you. They have to unfollow you, unfriend you, block you, all that kind of bullshit. And as humans, yes, we like to surround ourselves with people that think the same way we do. You know, if you're a fast driver, the people driving fast are smart, but the idiots that are going slow are fucking idiots because they're going slow and not as fast as you. I mean, it's just our nature. But we don't grow unless we come across different thoughts and beliefs. And we need to realize that people can have very polar opposite ideas on things and opinions on things and still be friends. It's called emotional maturity. And unfortunately, we're seeing less and less of that these days. And most unfortunately, in people my age or older, are reverting back to being fucking morons. And that makes me ashamed, because we were taught better. My generation and older were definitely taught better than to be a fucking Karen out in the world and make an ass of yourself just because you think you're entitled to something. I'm not entitled to a goddamn thing. And I never have been. I've worked hard for every fucking thing I have. And I've paid with pain for everything. But I appreciate everything I have. I appreciate it a lot, because I am a lot more blessed than most. I have a house, I have income, I have my loved ones, my friends, my cats, my tarantulas. I have more blessings than I could hope for. And I am grateful every day for them, because, you know, there have been times that I didn't know when I was going to eat next. And there were times where I didn't know where I was going to live. And I was lucky to have my parents to help me when I really needed it. Not everybody has that. So I'm very grateful. But we need to remember that just because you view things in one way, it does not give you the right to push that belief on other people. You can state the belief, but you cannot expect other people to automatically be like everybody else. Case in point, I had posted videos on my regular YouTube channel about trying to sex my tarantulas, which means I'm trying to figure out whether they're male or female. Most of the times you do this after they molt, shed their skin. 95% of the times I've had one of mine molt, it's been destroyed in the molting process, and I've been unable to get it in a whole condition where I could actually determine the sex. So, because I handle my tarantulas on a regular basis, I got them out, and the bigger ones, I did my best to have them upside down for a minute. What, Lovey? I'm busy. You see that, right? I love you, baby. I'd only have them upside down for a minute at the most, and take a couple pictures and a short video so I could see if I could tell whether they were male or female. And out of about 35 of them I had out that I could, that were big enough for me to try and determine the sex of them. I had one that was, a little bit pissy. So instead of using my fingers, I used my tongs that I use for feeding to hold her down. I'm not putting any weight on her, but I put them on the bottom of her carapace, where the legs are all attached, just right under where her fangs were. And of course, I put it there and she bit onto it, and that was apparent. So I noted it in my video. But she was the only one that got a little pissy. And, I can get that. I mean, they are small creatures, and they feel vulnerable when they're upside down, because usually that's when they're molting. So it's not like I took it personal or anything, but of course somebody had to make a comment on my post about every other keeper waits until a molt to determine the sex of their tarantulas. And I'm like, okay. Most of mine, I replied that most of the molts I've had, unfortunately, have been demolished, and I haven't been able to sex them. And some of them, actually two of them that I originally bought a year and a half ago still haven't molted once in the time I've had them. So, I need to know whether they're male or female, because males don't live as long as females. And when a male matures, then their lifespan is drastically shortened. And I need to know this. That way, if they die, I know it was probably from age. But, I was like, molts have been damaged. I haven't been able to. And then I was like, I'm not other keepers. I handle my tarantulas. I'm not afraid of them. When I first started, I was. When one would move, I would jump and squeal and everything. But as I've taken the time to get used to them and let them get to know me as much as I know them, I have, there'll be times where one of them will make a sudden movement and startle me, but it doesn't scare me, but it does startle me at times. But for the most part, I don't flinch anymore. I'm not afraid of them. I'm not hurting them ever. And I do my absolute best to make sure their lives are just as happy and enriched as my kitties. Because when you get a pet, that's your responsibility. And I take that very seriously. So, therefore, knowing the sex of my tarantulas is very important. So I know and can plan whether they're going to be with me, anywhere from 10 to 30 years possibly, or 3 to 7 years at the most if they're male. So I do take it very seriously, and I would never hurt them. Every time one of my tarantulas molts, holy crap, do I fucking stress. I liken that time to when my oldest son first came home with me from the hospital when he was born. I think we were in the hospital a couple days. And then after we came home, I was calling his pediatrician almost every hour because I was fucking terrified I was going to kill him. He's breathing too fast. He's breathing too slow. He won't eat. He's eating too much. He hasn't pooped. He hasn't peed. He won't sleep. He won't stop crying. He won't, wake up. I mean, I was a nervous wreck when Chris was a baby. Holy crap. I thought I would just, do something and he would die on me. And once I realized that, he was a lot more resilient than I was giving him credit for, things got a little bit better. But when one of my tarantulas molts or one of my cats gets sick, I stress that much because I want them to have the best life. Otherwise, I wouldn't buy them or bring them home. But, yeah, I could have gotten really snarky with the person that made the comment. And I guess maybe I did a little bit by saying I'm not other keepers, but, anybody's first mistake is expecting me to be like somebody else because I'm not. I'm me. And other people are nothing like me. I'm not saying that because I'm special. I'm just saying that because I'm different. And I like that about myself. I'm not a tarantula keeper that is afraid to interact with them. I'm not a person that discriminates against anybody. I'm not a person that judges anybody. I'm not a person that can be offended. I don't care what you say and do, you cannot offend me. I may differ in opinion, but you're not going to offend me. And, people's first mistake is thinking I'm like other people because I'm not. And I never will be. Ever. So, like I said, I guess it might have come off a little snarky, but I could have gotten pissy and been, well, don't judge me and don't think I'm, don't put your beliefs on me, yada yada yada. And I didn't really do that. So I just want people that watch my videos about my tarantulas to know that I'm not a typical tarantula keeper. There's one tarantula keeper in, I believe, India that I watch called Exotic's Lair. And he has like upwards of 100 tarantulas, but he actually comes up. I don't know if it's actual truth, but he does come off as afraid of his tarantulas when they make a movement towards getting their, him filling their water dish, or a sudden movement to get their food or something, or if they come out of their enclosure while he's doing something. He comes across as afraid of them. And he's very, very commonly known for saying, "Come down, come down, come down," to his tarantulas when he's the one that's actually, needing to calm down. And most tarantula keepers do not handle. I do. And that's not going to change. Doesn't matter to me. I brought them home to interact with, and that's what I do. So, we need to learn that we can have different opinions, but that doesn't mean we're enemies. Because we're not. We just happen to think two different ways. And, maybe I interpreted that that comment of, don't all keepers, use the molt to sex others, sex theirs or whatever. Maybe I took that as coming across as judgmental, and that's quite possible. But if you've seen my original YouTube channel, then well, not all, but most of what's on there is me handling my tarantulas and giving information on them, or just showing off their beauty. I do love to do that. I absolutely love to show off how beautiful they are, because they are absolutely gorgeous. Some more than others. Some are a little bit, dull in color, but they are all very unique. And I absolutely love showing them off and giving information about them. So that is my purpose for making those videos, to show that you do not have to be afraid of them. You don't have to avoid interaction at all at all cost. You don't have to do that. You can interact with them, and you can interact with them safely. So, everything I post, I do to try to help people, one, maybe learn something, but two, to show that the normal way of thinking may not be right for everybody, as most ways of thinking are not good for me. So I just try to show that you don't have to conform. You can be different and have morals and have integrity and still be different and unique. Because that's me. And I'm perfect. Yeah, I know I'm not, but yeah, I am. So, like I said, we as society need to become less sensitive, toughen up, and remember, not nobody other people don't think like we do, and they aren't us, so we cannot expect other people to be like us. And we have to take those people for what they are and who they are. And just because you're different doesn't mean you cannot be friends and you cannot be civil to people, because you can. So I'll end things here and end my rant. But you know, I hope this makes you think a little bit, and remember that not everybody you meet is going to be like you, or think or believe like you. And that's okay. That's the way it's supposed to be. Otherwise, we'd be fucking clones of each other. You know, there'd be one perfect clone and everybody'd be a clone of that person. And, you know, that's not what we as humans are. And as society, we need to grow past this this insecure and sensitive nature that people have been taking. So, okay, well, I hope y'all have a great day. And if you've watched this video, I thank you very much. I do appreciate it, and I love you. Bye.